Hello, are you somebody who struggles to sleep? Are you someone who's really had this problem either for days or weeks or months? Perhaps you've tried sleeping pills. Perhaps you've tried alcohol. Perhaps you've seen different experts and wondering whether your sleep problems have a solution. Then I guess this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to be discussing just one more tip that can improve your sleep life. Just a single intervention. Because I like to make my videos really simple, practical, and easy to implement. Definitely there is no one size or fits all, but which means that there are several potential interventions that can help people sleep better depending on their particular situation. Nevertheless, this tip will certainly work for most people. My name is Dr. John Olui. I am a neurologist practicing in King's College Hospital, Dubai, and I have helped a lot of people improve their sleep. And when I say helping people improve their sleep, I do not mean prescribing them sleeping pills. I'm not about to, my goal or mission is not to add more medications to people. I'm talking about helping people sleep naturally, because sleep indeed is a natural response. Animals sleep, so do humans. So it's really a natural thing. So what I help people do is to help them dig and find the exact reason for which they're not sleeping, no matter how long it's been, and helping them to reverse it and help them become better sleepers. But then before I go into that today, I'd like to welcome you to Brain Gist. This channel was created to inform people about the brain and all of its disorders, what lay people out there who have no knowledge of medicine need to know about the brain and their health in general, so they can be better informed and take better care of themselves and their health. After all, we've got only one life, and the brain is very, very germane to everything we do. And that's the essence of this channel. So invite you to subscribe and, of course, share with other people who you know who might be suffering from brain-related conditions. And I think it's for everyone, actually. You don't have to be suffering from brain conditions before you learn about these things. All right, so I have released some tapes in the past, but my style is to do one tape at a time. So today, again, I'm going to be giving an example of Mr. X. So Mr. X has a problem sleeping. And this problem has been there for at least 3 or 4 years. He used to sleep really well in the past, but for the past 3 to 4 years, he's just increasingly found it difficult to fall asleep. He's taking a lot of medications, seeing a lot of doctors, and the doctors keep prescribing and prescribing medications. At some point, they even thought he might have depression or anxiety, gave him medications for depression and anxiety, but it never solved the problem. So now he's tired and fed up. The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, sleep medications are not the solution. They actually make things worse sometimes, because now you create a new problem. You become dependent on the sleep aids. So one tip that can turn things around is what I'm going to talk to you about today. And that has to do with the maladaptive behaviors and thinking processes about sleep that is common to everyone whom I've met who is an insomniac, somebody who's not slept well for a while. So there are things we unconsciously start to do when we lose our sleep, and these things, rather than helping us sleep better, they actually make the things worse. And we actually do these things to help ourselves, thinking it would improve things, but unfortunately it does the opposite. But that's why I'm here as an expert to help you. recognize it and help you adjust things and stay better. One of such things is on such days that people don't sleep well, of course, for some people it's almost every day, they tend to extend the time in bed. So let's say normally they wake up at 6 a.m. to get about the day. Then those people feel, I haven't slept well today, I am really tired. And then they extend their alarm maybe by 1 more hour or 2 more hours. They just extend the sleep time. Let me sleep a little bit more so that I can have some strength to carry on with the activities of the day. That sounds reasonable, isn't it? But unfortunately, that is not productive. Believe you me, that is one of the things that help to sustain the problem of insomnia. So when you deliberately extend your time in bed, then you're actually working against the principles of sleep. Why is that so? Now the brain, actually should be trained to recognize that Mr. X sleeps between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. for instance. And then once it's 6 a.m., you should get out of bed. But when you extend this because you did not sleep well, then you're sending confusing messages to the brain that is the time that's meant for sleep. So the brain now says, okay, 6 a.m. is the time for sleep. So you sleep till 8 a.m. So the next day, the brain behaves the same way, keeping you awake and then hoping that you would sleep and extend from 6 to 8. So the best way to solve this problem is to ensure that you have a consistent waking time. How does that work? You may argue, I'll get tired, I'll be unable to function. Yes, you would get tired, but that is the sacrifice you need to make for long-term gain. Because the brain needs that consistency. The brain is like a child that you need to train. When you consistently go to bed, let's say from 10 to 6 or 11 to 6, and you're out of bed, no matter how short the sleep has been, let's say you've only slept from 3 to 6 a.m. because you couldn't fall asleep on time, whatever it is, ignore it, and at exactly the same time, get out of bed. When you do that consistently for a week or two, it might be difficult. You may feel sleepy in the day. You may feel tired in the day, yes, but the brain is learning. And in that way, you retrain the brain to learn that the time between 10 and 6 is for sleep. And you are not going to get any extra time. That the brain is going to learn ultimately that I'd better sleep at this time. And then you're going to start falling asleep. And then there is also the law of what we call sleep debt. A debt is like owing someone. So if you have only slept consistently for, let's say, 4 hours every day for the past week, because you're disciplining the brain, getting out at the same time, it means you now have a sleep debt that's so high. You're owing a lot of sleep. And that sleep debt actually is an advantage, because it gets to a point that the sleep debt is so much that the brain just can't stay awake anymore. So the brain would have to shut down and you will start to sleep better. So I do hope we've learned this principle today. And I encourage you to follow me for more. Stick to this channel. Stay on alert for the next set of videos where I'll be giving you even more interesting, more transformative tips about the brain. See you next time, and thanks for watching today.